What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn. Get this, according to Hearn, Edgar Berlanga versus Jaime Munguia, winner of that fight, is nailed on to get the Canelo fight. Eddie Hearn says he's confident that the winner of the fight between unbeaten super middleweight contenders Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia will get a shot against the undisputed 168-pound champion Canelo Alvarez. Berlanga, 21-0, and Munguia, 42-0, are a couple of highly criticized fighters who have been spoon-fed weak opposition their entire careers. Neither is deserving of a title shot against Canelo Alvarez, given their lack of quality wins. In other words, they are just a couple of underachievers. Okay, but this is what Eddie said. He said, it was nice, wasn't it? All of a sudden, he wants to make a fight. He wants to make the fight because the zone wants to make the fight. And we've already been talking to Golden Boy for a number of weeks about Berlanga against Munguia, said Eddie Hearn, about his desire to make a fight between Matchroom fighter Edgar Berlanga and the Golden Boy promoted Jaime Munguia next. Frank Smith of Matchroom met with Golden Boy's promotion president Eric Gomez in LA. Obviously, the zone has said to Matchroom and Golden Boy, that's the fight we want next. Jaime Munguia against Edgar Berlanga. It's absolutely an epic fight. Mexico versus Puerto Rico, 50-50, an absolute war. Have me some of that, and hopefully we can sit down with our friends at Golden Boy and get it made. Yeah, you can always do a deal with PBC if PBC don't have an opponent that Canelo accepts, said Hearn, when asked about the possibility of making a fight between Berlanga and Canelo Alvarez, who PBC is currently promoting for his next 3 fights. And let me counterpunch. You know what this tells me? This tells me that Eddie Hearn was right on the fucking money. What do I mean by that? Eddie Hearn knew that despite what Oscar De La Hoya's emotional feelings were about working with Eddie Hearn and how he personally felt about Eddie Hearn because of the whole Canelo fallout stuff and him picking Canelo up to promote him, he said it best. He said, it doesn't matter, you know, you're a fucking idiot. It doesn't matter what you think. That's what Eddie said about Oscar De La Hoya. It didn't matter because it's we both work for the zone. You know what I mean? So it's about what the zone wants, not what you want, because you're just a promoter. You're the one that guides him and promotes him, but you don't have the network pull to make things like this happen or don't happen. Or should I say not happen, right? And he's absolutely right. See, now all of a sudden it's a change of heart that now Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga now is in talks. You know why it's in talks? Because the zone said so. Just like Eddie said. It's not up to what Eddie personally wants, and it's not up to what Oscar personally wants. It's what's best for the zone and the network, and they know a fight like that between Mexico's Jaime Munguia and Puerto Rico's Edgar Berlanga, when you put them together, you always will have a furious rivalry. That's it. And now all of a sudden, yeah, that's the thing to do, because they know what they did. They told, okay, Oscar, look, this is the fight we want. This is the fight we have to make. Kiss and make up or whatever. You know, because Oscar, you know, he was popping off shit for a couple years now about Eddie Hearn. And it's got to the point where, you know, Oscar's telling him, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, Eddie. Stay in your fucking lane. I'll knock your ass out. Gotta love Oscar, though, man. I love that series he has on HBO, though. I have to mention that because that is a very good series. You know what I mean? The truth is a very powerful thing. But back to business. Oscar De La Hoya didn't want this fight. No, he didn't. In fact, he told us and he showed us he didn't want it. He didn't want to put Jaime in there with Edgar Berlanga because Edgar Berlanga was signed with the zone. And of course, he was in talks of going with Golden Boy, so it could be a little bitterness from Oscar De La Hoya. Because, see, here's the deal. He's bitter already because of Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo left Oscar, and he went with Eddie, right? Well, how do we know that's not the same case with Edgar Berlanga? See, Edgar Berlanga was in talks with Golden Boy, but he went with Matchroom. You know, so Oscar could in fact have that same type of feeling about Eddie because of that fighter that did the same thing pretty much that Canelo did. Canelo was with Golden Boy though. Edgar left the idea of going to Golden Boy and went with Matchroom. So I think it's in the same ballpark. I think the Canelo thing was definitely more serious because he was with Golden Boy a long time. So that may be what it is with Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know, but guess what? Who cares? Because the fight between Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia has to be made according to the network. The network is DAZN. What DAZN says goes. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of possible winner from Edgar Berlanga versus Jaime Munguia to fight Canelo Alvarez. Let me talk about that for a second before I jump off of here. You know, let's pump the brakes a second. I don't know how realistic that fight is either. Why? Because Canelo is now with PBC. PBC will maximize Canelo. They will give him whatever he needs to stay with PBC. If it was up to the PBC, though, they would have kept him at the PBC. You know what I mean? And I think the plans were all foiled Saturday night when TC whooped the shit out of Errol. Because, you know, Errol was one of those guys that was a liner up to fight Canelo Alvarez. You know, now he has Terrence Crawford problems. So that may helped Eddie Hearn, you know, more than anything else, because now, you know, if PBC doesn't, because who says he's going to fight David Benavidez, right? He might decide, you know what, nah, I'm going to go back, but he does have a 3-fight deal with him, and he's fighting Jermell Charlo first. He might fight Jermall Charlo second and someone else third. You know, he may or may not, but I don't know if that's going to be realistic for Eddie Hearn, you know, or the winner of Berlanga and Jaime Munguia anyway, because I don't know if Canelo wants that. However, it could be an option if he's signing a fight-by-fight basis. But they said it was for 3 fights, right? That's my understanding. I haven't saw the contract, but it could be the case. That could exactly, absolutely be the case, that there is an option between those two. Whoever wins that war, I think, honestly, if it's a very good fight, if it's like some Canelo Golovkin or Sugar Shane Mosley De La Hoya type shit, you know, I think that they should do it again. And I think they should build each other off each other with each other. Everybody wants fucking Canelo, okay? But Canelo is only one man. You know what I mean? Beating Canelo is not what you need. Everybody wants to think, hey, if I win this fight, I'm going to be a star. Yeah. However, is Bivol a star? Counterpunch. See, Bivol beat Canelo Alvarez, but that didn't make him a star. Yeah, he's more known now. He's a man of, you know, the second man to officially give Canelo Alvarez an L. But what does that really mean for Bivol? Not a lot. So a lot of these guys think that, hey, you know, if I beat Canelo, if I wait on Canelo, if I could get that Canelo fight, it's like, dude, give it up with that Canelo shit. How about make your own legacy like Canelo had to do after the upset loss to Floyd Money Mayweather? How about that? Because I don't really think, you know, these guys have a real clue to how you build a resume or how to actually formulate your legacy. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Eddie Hearn's projection of the winner of Jaime Munguia versus Edgar Berlanga fighting Canelo Alvarez. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!